Hello, this is Eric of Not BIOS, and this is my review of the Fifine Ampligame. So we're going to check this out and see how it sounds. And we got this nice, sweet microphone that Fifine sent. So thank you very much, Fifine, for providing these microphones for review. Now let's check out what's in the package. So for our wiring, we have this cable here. So we got the USB-C, it looks like, to the microphone. And then we have a USB type A. So that's a standard USB port. And the microphone itself has a shock mount. So right here we can see there's a shock mount. So that's if you end up hitting the bottom, whatever, to isolate the microphone. So we have this stand here that's included with the microphone. So we just simply screw it in. So once you have it threaded on, you can loosen this off and adjust where you want your mic set up. So let's get this powered on and let's see how this looks, because this is going to look, I'm pretty sure, pretty darn fancy. Now we can see the Fifine microphone powered on. Look how cool that looks. Let's get some audio samples and see how this actually sounds. Now let's do a quick volume knob test to listen to the silence and hear if there's any hiss as we turn up the volume. Fifine recommends about 60% volume or less to get the best audio quality. Now let's see for ourselves. There's nothing that tells me how far I've gone, but you'll see how much I turn the knob. I'll get the camera nice and close and the microphone nice and close to the camera so we can actually see as I turn the knob. And listen to the silence, and I'll point to the camera right beside the mic before I turn it up. Now, one other test is finding out how the sound is based on distance from the microphone capsule. So right now I'm about 6 inches away, and let's go about 2 feet away, and let's get a little closer, a little closer, a little closer. And right now I'm only about 3 inches away from the capsule itself, and let's get a little bit further away. So how do I come through? And now let's do a quick test to see how it works. The best with directional audio. Oh, let's see how it works. Okay, one other thing to try out is also there's a button on top. That's your mute right now, and now you should be able to hear me once again. We got a little button here, and that's what the mute button is. You just touch it off and it goes off and on. You can see that. So yeah, it's simple as that. Touch sensitive pad. Now I'm going to do a quick test of the shock mount to see how much sound you hear through the microphone when touching everywhere. So let's tap this pipe, and since it's metal, I can actually hear myself tapping this. I can hear the sound of the metal pipe. The idea is it doesn't come aggravatingly loud like it can in some cases when you don't have a shock mount. This is the shock mount. Now if I touch the microphone, it's going to be really loud probably. Except that we have the sound of pipe instead of plastic. So when you actually don't have a shock mount to protect the microphone from getting hit, you probably hear a lot more sound versus, say, here, where you barely hear me even tapping it, to here. I was actually touching with the same amount of force between the microphone and that pipe, but the shock mount separates the sound of the arm getting hit. And of course, the shock mount is sufficient. It's actually quite good. It has a bit of room to wiggle around and not touch anything. That is great to have. We got lots of competition in this price range with USB gaming mics. And yes, it's one of the best here. But what really separates this and ups your game is, well, I'll give you one quick hint. Well, the one thing is it has very accurate, clean audio, and that's something very important. Say if you're doing vocals, you can actually get this for cheap while being very accurate for vocals. So that's a plus there. Podcasting, and of course you could use it also for adding audio to your script. The one thing that's not going to be so great for, of course, is game streaming because there's no headphone jack. So if you're doing, like I said, podcasts, YouTube, and doing vocals or whatever the case is, you'll be good to go. Very accurate audio, like very accurate sound. It's not all modified. So the sound for what you get, including this wind muffler here, that's going to stop you from getting plosives unless you really go for the plosives on purpose, is, well, you know, I actually clipped the audio because I actually spoke too loud, but I can just simply lower this. So if I lower this, could I actually get away with shouting? Yes, I can, without seeing the microphone. And yeah, that's something you want in a microphone. If you're, if I use a lot of the cheaper ones, even if I don't clip, it'll ruin the audio. So let's see if I'm gonna get plosives. If I turn this down, plosives. And I might have on there, but yeah, this works quite well, this wind muffler. So would I recommend this microphone? For sure. Depending on your use case, this is an A1 for the price. Of course, you get something better if you want to pay a lot more money. And one thing Fifine does great at is giving you great value for the dollar. So this microphone, very worthwhile if you're using it for the right case scenario. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to subscribe to Not BIOS, especially if you watch this far, and support this channel, and tell me what your thoughts are on this microphone or any other microphone I reviewed. Have yourselves a most wonderful day.